Tom, we got some major news. Rivian X Uber. I feel like I did not expect this to happen at all. I feel like on my personal channels, I've been like, Rivian Robotaxi, that's not happening anytime soon. What are you guys talking about? But now we're getting an actual announcement from Rivian and Uber telling us that they are going to be working on deploying Rivian Uber Robotaxis, which just seems kind of insane. What were your like initial thoughts when you saw this? Because I know you probably also were not expecting this.
I was not. I was like, this is another R2 tweet. Oh, another R2 announcement. Let's go. And it was like Robotaxi. And I was like, huh? So I know they have LiDAR and everything like that, but usually Rivian's been more of the driver's EV in a way.
Right.
And so when they're like Robotaxi, I know they're talking level 3, level 4. They mentioned that autonomy day, et cetera, like that. But still, I didn't see it coming. At least not this soon. We've only just had R2 come out like a week ago, if that.
Right. It's a week.
So, pretty cool, though. I'm excited nonetheless.
Yeah, Rivian has been pumping out. I feel like consistently we get some cool news, and so we'll go through this article. Right, Uber and Rivian partner to deploy up to 50,000 fully autonomous robotaxis. Now, as it's expected, a guaranteed 10,000 Rivian R2s. These are Rivian R2s that will be fully unsupervised, fully autonomous. They will be planted in San Francisco and Miami in 2028. And so we're like 2 years out from this, and they will scale through 25 more cities in the United States and Canada and Europe going through 2031. And in 2030, Rivian and Uber will have an agreement if they want to purchase more Rivian R2s, up to 40,000 more. That gives us a total of 50,000 Rivian R2 robotaxis. And this will allow Uber to invest up to $1.25 billion in Rivian. So Rivian gets the money and Uber gets to have access to Rivian robotaxis. From Uber's perspective, I feel like they got their hands in everyone's own pie. I'll actually pull up their own like autonomy website, and pretty much everyone that they are partnering with to work on autonomy. We see Aurora, Flytrex, Lucid, Neuro, NVIDIA, Pony AI, Volkswagen, Waymo, Volvo. Like, they are just trying to put their hands in everyone's honeypot, and they're like, we want to get there because I think Uber rides on an autonomous future. And the fact that Rivian now has their own platform to do that, this is like the future. So back in December, we saw that Rivian did AI and Autonomy Day. Tom, you were there.
Yep.
Yeah. What was that like in person for you? I did not get to go. I was in Asia at the time.
Oh man, you probably had more fun than we were, but it was still fun. We got to see obviously demos. We got to see the chips that they're fabricating in house, which is pretty cool. All the demos they had the demos of obviously the AI assistant, the actual LiDAR plus other sensor suite that we know Tesla didn't do notoriously. And I was I'm a big LiDAR fan. Twitter's going to hate this. I love LiDAR. I love redundancy. And so when they were talking about that, they kept reiterating it, and it's very hidden as well. Like, you couldn't notice it. I like looked and took a photo of an R2 there, not realizing that one with like the purple wrap and stuff. It had a LiDAR sensor there. I had no idea.
Yeah.
But no, I was like expecting from there. They talked about having your car drive for you or go pick up someone for you. So like, yeah, okay, near future we'll have something like this. But this is a quick announcement in a somewhat quick timeline, because they're saying 3 years from now we'll have fully autonomous R2s. LiDAR will probably reach the market, who knows, end of this year, early next year, like saturated the market. So that's a pretty small timeline, especially coming from like the car just being announced. Well, being announced,
Right.
To start production, if you will. But I'm excited nonetheless. I think they'll do pretty well. I'm a big LiDAR fan, so I trust I trust in multiple sensors for multiple redundancy. When they discontinued these radars in Teslas and disabled the radars in my old Tesla that had radars, it's sucked since then. I know it's better in hardware 4 and stuff like that, but my hardware 3 Tesla with no radars, it was basically blind. So Yeah, I'm pretty confident in this one at least.
I agree. I'm a fan of redundancy. I guess the argument is right. Too many sensors, they're going to have different perceptions of something, and it determines okay which gets override. Is it the cameras? Is it the radar? Is it the lidar? But I think we're at a point where we get reliable camera, radar, lidar data that, for the most part, we're able to determine what is where without having the concerns of what's overriding what. For the
Yeah.
autonomy fans, maybe you understand what I'm saying, but from Autonomy Day that you attended, this pretty much goes into what we're seeing for Uber and Rivian. And so that technology, Rivian's Wrap One with their new in-house compute, 1,600 trillions of operations per second. It's two chips, so it's 800 each. On top of the LiDAR, their multimodal sensors, all of this coming from their Generation 3 autonomy computer gets brought over into what we expect for point to point and eventually level 4. And so it was already said, right? Rivian expects later this year in Gen 2 and R2, the first iteration of R2, to be able to have point to point self driving. So kind of like Tesla full self driving supervised.
Mm-hmm.
Then we will soon get level 4 point to point. So no one is controlling the vehicle. The vehicle could have teleoperators making sure that the vehicle is doing good on its own, but a vehicle that is fully on the road, driving by itself. People are in the back seat. No one's looking at the road, and the car is just doing it all. And that's what we're expecting with LiDAR. And so that's kind of also the issue with R2, because the first year of R2s in 2026, we're expecting LiDAR to be added at the end of 2026, going into 2027. The first R2s won't have LiDAR, so they won't be capable of level 4. So that's kind of like, oh, do you get the R2 early? Do you wait? But regardless, the fact that this technology that Rivian has been working on since 2022 with Gen 2, to then bring this into an actual self-driving car, I think is like absolutely kind of just nuts. I mean, where were you
Yeah,
over on
it's a
this?
cool look at because like it looks like a regular car. Like it's the. I wonder if they're gonna do any interior modifications to the Robotaxi
Mm,
platform. Like if they're gonna do like a no wheel setup where it's all 5 seats are available, uh,
right.
or if they'll just have it where someone can take over and need like the current Robotaxis for Model Y are, or if they're gonna go like a full test Robotaxi setup where well, it's more than 3 seats, thankfully, but no, no controls at the front except just the display, and like the front and rear displays are just for entertainment, basically, and information for like the trip and stuff. And so I wonder, like with R2 being such a Rivian in general being such as I say, like driver enthusiast first vehicles, control first vehicles in some ways. I wonder if they're gonna do any like modifications to it, like that fill right there. Does the R2 Robotaxi need the drop down window in the back?
Good point. You're right. It's a
I
very
mean,
good point.
maybe you put your surfboard in the back and you're done. You're just gonna Uber home. Maybe I don't know.
Right.
Um, will they come with the all terrain package? I don't think they will. But like just random questions like that. Like I wonder
Yeah.
how they're gonna modify it, or if they modify anything at all. It could just be just a regular R2 that's running level 4 hardware and software, and they just let it rip. So I'm pretty excited to see how that happens, and I wouldn't be surprised if this does well. It could even end up turning into using R1S, maybe R1S with newer equipment, of course. You know, 3 rows for a robotaxi is huge. It's
Right.
an autonomous suburban you can just have come to you and take you. And so
Right.
that would be pretty nice. Air suspension, luxurious features, etc. That would be the perfect Uber Black type of autonomous car. Um, but yeah, interested to see how they, if any, modifications they'll make to these cars, these robotaxis.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because yeah, we do expect the next generation R1 vehicles, the R1T and R1S, to get the same lidar and the autonomy 3 computer wrap one into R1, and so it should also be capable in the future of a level 4 point to point autonomy. I mean, the current Gen 2 Rivians will be able to do point to point, but level 4 specifically will only be for lidar and the autonomy 3 computer. So it'll be really good if the R1s could turn into these robotaxi like vehicles. I
Mhm.
truly think an SUV is like peak for robotaxi. We see what Lucid is doing with Neuro. I think that's
Yeah,
peak comfort, room sizing. It's efficient. Like that is perfect. I think small robo taxis, like I'm gonna get called out here. The Cybercab, I think, is probably the worst Tesla idea. I think the Model Y as a platform is perfect. It's high up off the ground. You are in a good seating position versus something that's kind of low to the ground, just two seats. That's trivial, but a regular passenger vehicle like the R2 turned into, a robotaxi, that just seems wise. And you're right. Like, I imagine they're going to remove a lot of stuff. Like, it'd be funny if you got an all-terrain package robotaxi, but things like the roll down window and the flashlight in the door, like, I imagine a lot of things like this will just be removed. And it probably will be like the base rear wheel drive, like
Yeah,
standard battery option, which we expect, right, going into 2027, 2028.
yeah, that's true. They'd probably be a stripped down version, removing features, removing other stuff that doesn't add to cost. And then another kind of separate but related point: if Uber is having these, right, Uber themselves will be purchasing these for their fleet. Will they allow people who have level 4 capable R2s to put their vehicles onto Uber and run for them? Because that's
Mm.
something Tesla's plans to do, if I recall correctly. The Robotaxi platform, you have your full self-driving, unsupervised, eventually capable car. You could just let her go and then
All
make
right.
passive income. Will Uber do the same thing for these cars, and not just Rivian specifically? It could be any of the other potentially level 4 capable cars that people own. And so that could be a whole other medium for Uber. They have the platform, and you just get paid some sort of revenue share type of system. That would be pretty cool. You could just get it and just let her go, and then take it back when you're done.
Right.
Like Turo, but it drives by itself.
Maybe that's the future of Uber. It's like, if you have a self-driving car and it connects to Uber's platform, we'll be able to put your car on it. I also feel like Uber could just like do what they're doing now, and if they wanted to, they just buy like a million R2s and a million Model Ys and a million Waymos and just put them on the roads themselves. And so we're also getting to a place where it's like, I feel like the reason Uber is doing this, and it's more of a personal thesis, is like they see that Rivian is getting closer to autonomy. They saw what Nuro, they see what Aurora, they see what Waymo and Zoox are doing. And they're like, all it takes for these companies with good autonomy, level 4 autonomy, unsupervised, is to make a robotaxi app. We see Waymo has the app, it works well. Tesla has their app, they have the vehicles. And so it would just be like that for them to scale building vehicles, and then Uber would be out of business if they just decide to build an app. So instead, Uber's like, all right, we're going to partner with you. We're going to buy some of your cars. This way you don't feel like you need to make your own robotaxi and robotaxi app. And then you'll be like, all right, cool. I won't have to, be in competition with Rivian or Waymo, who have their own robotaxis. I can just put them on my platform. But maybe that is the future. Hopefully RJ doesn't come out and he's like, we're gonna let Rivian owners make money with their R2s. That's the future. And then we'll get a cycle of Elon all over again.
Oh no.
But
But yeah,
yeah, let's everything else. I'll pull it back from this robotaxi, kind of run through it. So, initial commercial deployments planned for San Francisco and Miami in 2028, scaling through 25 cities through 2031, and that is the U.S., Canada, and Europe. That's what Uber's own press release said. There's some differences between Uber's and Rivian's press release, and then of course they'll have the option to buy up to 40,000 more. RJ says, we couldn't be more excited about this partnership with Uber. It will help accelerate our path to level 4 autonomy to create one of the safest and most convenient autonomous platforms in the world. The scale of Rivian's growing data flywheel, coupled with RAP1, our state-of-the-art in-house interference platform, and our multimodal perception platform, makes us incredibly excited for the rapid advancement of Rivian autonomy over the next couple years. And then Uber CEO says, we're big believers in Rivian's approach, designing the vehicle, compute platform, and software stack together while maintaining end-to-end control of scaled manufacturing and supply in the US. That vertical integration combined with data from the growing consumer vehicle base and experience managing the complexities of commercial fleets gives us conviction to set these ambitious but achievable targets. And also worth mentioning, right? Rivian has what they call Fleet OS, which is like where you're able to take the Rivian commercial van, also the R1T and R1S, and manage them in fleets. It'd be interesting if that has something also to do with this deal. It doesn't say it, but that would also be kind of interesting. But Rivian does have experience with fleets. And
yeah,
so we're going into a robo taxi Rivian future, and that feels crazy.
Yeah, it does. Looking forward to it. I mean, I'm a driving enthusiast. Everyone knows I love to drive myself all the time, but I'm liking that we have different and more different types of approaches to it from hardware standpoints. Some may think some are safer, some may think are less safe. I definitely have opinions on what's safer and safer or not safe. LiDAR, I like LiDAR, but Twitter will have me with a pitchfork if I mention that. But nonetheless, super excited to see how that's going to go. And if any other manufacturers will join the party, we'll see.
Yeah, it's everything's kind of heating up. Yeah, again, Tesla has the robotaxis. Uber, Lucid will have the robotaxis. Rivian will soon have the robotaxis.
Yep.
And you're kind of in the center of it all because you're in Orlando. Tesla
Yeah.
just put robotaxis in Orlando for people to, not like consumers to drive, but for like Tesla employees to test in Orlando area. We got Waymo coming into Orlando and Miami. We're going to get Rivian in Miami. You're like right there.
Yeah, it's been accelerating. Like the past year is like nothing, and they're all coming. Waymo came. They're already driving around the Millennium Mall area. The news about the Tesla Robotaxi was super surprising because that center is actually near me. So soon I'll actually go kind of run by there and see if I can see them.
Yeah.
But we have those. We might have other people. It's a big testing environment, and probably one of the biggest stress testers because we have the worst tourist drivers known to man here. So if it can handle, I drive in Orlando, they can handle anything. Trust me.
That's funny. I guess all the Disney people, this will be good for them. Disney and Tesla Waymo need to come together and be like, we're going to robotaxi all of the people coming in for Disney and Universal and everything. So Orlando's that spot. But this is exciting news. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below. Robotaxis, self-driving, autonomy is like heating up in the space. And if you're an electric auto manufacturer, it seems like autonomy is like right there and something that you need to do. Any final words, Tom?
I wish my R1S could, but I have a Gen 2. I'll get point to point, which is fine.
I'm stuck. Gen 1. I mean, hopefully I'll have R2 by then.
That's true.
Yeah, I have nothing. That's what I have. Nothing.
Yeah, good sound. That's it.